Now joining us is the CEO of Country Box, Mr. Jimmy Adams. We have another big show, Country Box 23, this Tuesday night, October 1st at the Troubadour in Nashville. Jimmy, what's happening?
Not much, Mark. Thanks for having me on here, man.
Well, this is a Country Box podcast, so you don't have to thank me. I'm thanking you for letting me do it. So we're a few days away. On paper, this looks to be maybe the biggest show yet. We have a title fight with Medel Sando and Derek Finley. We got the undefeated 21-0 heavyweight Vlad Sorenko. Got a couple other fights. Josh Popper making his long-awaited pro debut. Big show Tuesday night.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be our biggest show we've had, and we're very excited about it. We got another WBG title on it, which we're very happy on that. Hermes Alta, he won it the last fight, the 140 division. And so Medel's going, and Derek is going for the 168. So we're excited about that. And Josh Popper to come all the way from New York to make his pro debut here at the Troubadour in Nashville. We're very excited about that also. So my wife Ashley and Christy Martin has put together some good matches, and I'm excited about this card.
Yeah. I mean, on top of that, we have Aaron Cypress, who's appeared on Country Box, a local girl from Georgia, Melody Poprovac, on the card as well. Julio Mendoza taking on Nathaniel Copeland, Ryan Zemplicat making his pro debut, and Colin Clark against Terry Roscoe. So there's something there for everybody. This series is continuing to grow. I'm getting more people out there. In fact, I was at a weigh-in today here in Philadelphia where I had a couple promoters tell me they tune in all the time.
Oh, really? Well, that's
Yes.
great, man. That's great. Yeah, I have several people, other promoters and all, they'll call or text me and tell me they watch it and look forward to it and all, and how much they like it. So that's really good. I like seeing that everybody's in harmony together and support each other. And that's really nice.
And even working together with promoters, like we mentioned, Vlad, he just signed a big deal with Frank Warren. Frank Warren letting him fight on this card. So it's good with the some of the other promoters, wanting to maybe see their guys stay busy. And you and Christy Martin are just phone calls away.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the door is wide open to anybody who wants to come in here, as long as they can pass the commissions, physicals, and stuff, and get licensed. It's an open door. They can come in. And another thing too, we're not in a situation where we don't charge slot fees, and somebody wants to come in and build a fight and put on some good fights. The platform's open.
And I don't want to say surprisingly, but sometimes, when promoters are trying to keep a guy busy, we see some mismatches or whatever. We've had so many good quality fights, high 50-50 fights, split decisions, upsets.
We've had a lot of upsets. Yeah, we've had a lot of upsets that people. It's been some good fights. Every now and then you're gonna get one that's not so good, but we've been blessed. I have to say, out of 22 fights so far, we might have had 2 bad cards, and that's just because people got knocked out in the first round, but that happens. You're in boxing,
and you can't control that. First of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the 30th anniversary of maybe your crowning moment in boxing, Oliver McCall knocking out Lennox Lewis to win the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. 30 years. I know there are a lot of people tweeted about it, that being the anniversary. I'm sure you saw some of that stuff on social media. Thinking back on that night, 30 years is going by, and what are your recollections still of that night?
Well, man, you know what? That's probably one of the biggest moments. It's not one. It is the biggest moment in my boxing career. To be there and go through what you went through to get there, and then when your guy knocks out the world champion undefeated in the second round, and when they say it's not just in the new fighter, it's the team, because Oliver didn't get there on his own. There was other people who helped, from Greg Page to Emmanuel Stewart to Don King, of course. It was a team, and that's a big high You know, I used to say this all the time when it happened. It's like when you get that first baby, which you know all about now. You know, it's just like that. My first baby in boxing was that WBC belt with Oliver McCall, and it's hard to outdo that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a good feeling that at one time you were part of the best in the world. That's a good feeling.
I bet you, to you, it probably still feels like yesterday it happened.
Oh, it does. Listen, when I started seeing all these tweaks, and I got a couple of calls from reporters about how I felt now I'm doing country boxing, where I started at now. I mean, man, I'm going like, has it been that long? Because I'm going like 30 years. I didn't realize it even been that long. So it caught me off guard because it seemed like it was yesterday. And also on September 24th, it was my birthday. As my granddaughter was born. One of Oliver's daughters was born. Uh, it was just, and we won a title on September 24th,
Everything
'94.
just
So
everything just came together on
everything,
that.
everything came together all at one time, and that's very, you know, so it's a lot of good memories to it, you know.
Now, obviously, Albert McCall, he was a guy, he was around for a while, but now with Country Box, you're building guys, and you have several guys that you have signed. It could be within a year, a couple of years from now, you may be promoting a champion or a heavyweight champion. Have you thought about that?
Well, yeah, yeah, of course I have. You know, it's like Ernest Alter. You know, I mean, when he come to me, he was just 2-0. And so now, on his ninth fight, he fought for the WBG title. Now he's world champ with the WBG, and he's 9-0. And so I'm very proud of that. And but you've seen him many times. He's a
Of
very
course.
exciting fighter. I mean, he's a good fighter, and you know he's going to be a force to reckon with because he is a tough guy. You know,
And
so I mean, we're already getting calls to people wanting his belt, wanting to fight. You know, so and that's what it's all about is building them up like that.
And then if Sando wins this belt on Tuesday nights, another chip that he has, and we talk about the super middleweight division with my dad. There's so many good fights out there. I mean, you got the big cash cow Canelo, but even under him, you got Benavides and Morrell,
Oh
and
yeah.
guys like Berlanga, Caleb Plant, Jaime Munguia, the kid Christian and Billy up in Canada. So there's a lot of fights, especially my dad, if he can win this fight on Tuesday. A lot of money fights out there for him.
Yeah, I've got a lot of big hope for Adele. I mean, I hope that things go the way you know that I like to see them go. I mean, he's trained hard for it. I mean, he's trained very hard for it, and he's very dedicated to what he's doing. And I talked to him this morning, and he told me that I'm ready. So anyway, we're gonna see. We're gonna see Tuesday night, and I'm definitely hoping that he ends up with that belt. Yeah.
There you have it. What do you want to say to the fans in closing before we see you on Tuesday night? See the next installment, Country Box 23. One thing I didn't bring up, it, the great musical acts you had. I mean, I'm a big music fan, a big rock and roll guy, but you've got me into country music over the last 2 years, Jimmy.
Well, you know what? I think that I've had so many people come there, you know, fighters, and after the fight, they'll walk up to me and say, "You know what?" He said, "I never listened to country music, but boy, I like it now. You know, I'm starting to listen to it." And then you know, this Tuesday night we got Neon Union, which was their last fight, but everybody wanted them to come back,
He was
and they loved
terrific.
the show. They were shocked with the show, and so they wanted them to come back, and so they back. And they excited. I mean, they do really works on social media on this one, and I think that's what happens. A lot of the singers that come down and perform, you know, when you talk about come performing at a boxing match and they don't know what it is, but when they get there and they have such a great time and they see the crowd and the people, and I mean, they're very accepted from everybody, and they love it. It's a fun place. It's a fun event. And then they get to meet with you and Albert Hainsworth and Christy Martin, and then my wife Ashley, my whole family get to see my little 8-year-old daughter do the Pledge of Allegiance. You know, I mean, it's all family oriented. And then, you know,
Terrific.
Jennifer and Rodney, the owners of Troubadour, they very nice to everybody. I mean, it's just a good atmosphere.
I've told you many times, I've done a lot of different events, but my favorite thing is the first and now the first and third Tuesdays of every
Yeah.
month down in Nashville. And my camera is gone. Hold on. So sorry about that. Had to
That's
switch
okay.
the cameras. So yeah, I mean, it just been an amazing thing. I told you my favorite thing to do is the first and now the first and third Tuesdays of every month coming down to Nashville. I can see in the next year and a half, maybe one of these big events, Country Box. I don't know, maybe down on Broadway, Nissan Stadium, with a big
Oh,
world title, with big world title
absolutely.
fights, and,
We already discussing that. Absolutely, that's going to happen. Yes, that's going to
and, and
happen.
and then a guy like Zach, like a major Zach Bryan, one of these kind of guys,
Yeah,
50, 60, 70,000 people. I can see it. I can see it.
yeah. Well, that's my goal. That's my goal, and it's going to happen. We're going to
Well,
make
the
it
man,
happen. Yeah.
the
So,
man who's made it happen. He'll make it happen now for the 23rd time this Tuesday night here in Nashville. Jimmy, thank you for a few minutes of time. I will see you Monday afternoon at the weigh-in, and I can't wait for this show on Tuesday night.
all right, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you Monday.
See you Monday.